What is your English level? Beginner, intermediate, or advanced? Let's find out. Today I'm gonna test your English level. Hello guys, my name is Kate, and in this lesson we're going to have an English level test to understand your level of English. I will give you questions divided in 3 different levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I will show you the question, then you will have 5 seconds to come up with the answer. If you need more time, you can pause the video, think about your answer and play it again. And please don't forget to count the number of correct answers you have. Also, I'm gonna explain the grammar and vocabulary in every question so that you know why your answer was wrong, if it was. Now let's start the test. The first 5 questions are for the beginner level, the A level. Which sentence is correct? Sarah have a very big house. Sarah has a very big house. Sarah has very big house. When we use the verb have in the present simple tense, we should use has for he, she, it, and have with they, you, and we. The correct answer is B. Sarah has a very big house. But why do we say a big house? For singular nouns, we use an article a, an, or the. In this case, we have a noun house, so we must say a house, not just house. That's why B is correct. Question 2. Which sentence is correct? I doesn't like cheese. I not like cheese. I don't like cheese. The correct answer is I don't like cheese. But why? Again, this is the present simple tense, but it's a negative form. To make a simple present sentence negative, we use don't for I, you, we, and they, and doesn't for he, she, it. So I don't, you don't, he doesn't, she doesn't, it doesn't, you don't, they don't, and we don't. Question 3. Which sentence is correct? She goes to the office in taxi. She goes to the office by taxi. She goes to the office by a taxi. She goes to the office by taxi. When we're talking about the means of transport, a taxi, a bus, a car, a train, we use by bus, by train, by taxi. Another important thing is we never use the article the before means of transport. So please remember, we never say I go by the taxi unless we know which taxi or which car we're talking about. The next question. Which one is correct? She lives in France. She lives in France. Or she is living in France. She lives in France. But why? Because this is the present simple tense. In present simple we have a subject plus a verb when the subject is in the third person singular, which is he, she, or it. The verb takes an S. So I live, you live, he lives, she lives, it lives. Let's move on to the next question. Which one is correct? He not can swim. He doesn't can swim. He can swim. The correct answer is he can't swim. But why? The verb can is a modal verb. We don't need to use an auxiliary verb here, and we never use not before the verb. The next question. Which sentence is correct? Are you going to London next week? Do you go into London next week? Are you going in London next week? you going to London next week? In this case, we're talking about next week and we're asking about future plans. When we're talking about future plans in English, we use be going to, and be stands for am, is, are. Are you going to London next week? The next question. Which one is correct? Do you work yesterday? Are you worked yesterday? Did you work yesterday? The right answer is C. Did you work yesterday? Why? There is a marker word, yesterday, which is used in the past simple. So, in the past simple questions, we use did plus verb. The next question. Which sentence is correct? How she makes an apple cake. Does she make an apple cake? How? How does she make an apple cake? The answer is how does she make an apple cake? The question form in English is always like this. We have a question word, an auxiliary verb, a subject, and a main verb. How does she make an apple cake? In this case, the question word is how, the auxiliary verb is does, the subject is she, and the verb is make. So, how does she make is the correct word order. Let's move on to the next one. Which sentence is correct? I enjoy to watch Netflix. I enjoy watching Netflix. I enjoy watch Netflix. The correct answer is I enjoy watching Netflix. After verbs enjoy, mind, and suggest, we always use a verb plus ing form. Now the last question of the beginner level. Which sentence is correct? There is a water in the glass. There is many water in the glass. There is some water in the glass. There is some water in the glass. It's correct because water is an uncountable noun. We don't need to use an article. We can't say a water. When we are talking about the uncountable nouns like milk, oil, water, coffee, we say some or any in questions and negative sentences. Great job, guys! Now we have finished questions for the beginner level. How many correct answers do you have? If you have 8 or more correct answers, your level is not a beginner. You should go answering the questions of the test to see what your level is. But if you have less than 8 correct answers, your level is a beginner. And that's not bad. You can practice more and more and improve your English level. Let me know in the comments how many correct answers you have. Now we're going to get the intermediate level B. Let's start. Which sentence is correct? I haven't seen Mary last night. I didn't see Mary last night. I don't saw Mary last night. There are two tenses that students often confuse, the past simple tense and present perfect tense. They both are used to talk about something that happened in the past. However, if we know exactly when something happened, we use past simple. So, in this case, we know exactly when this happened, right? Last night. So the correct answer is I didn't see Mary last night. The next question. Which one is correct? Did you bought the tickets? Have you bought the tickets? You have bought the tickets? This is a question where we use the present perfect because we don't know the exact time when the person bought the tickets, so we use the present perfect tense. The next question: which sentence is correct? She's never been to Australia. She's never gone to Australia. She never went to Australia. She's never been to Australia. But what's the difference between been and gone? Been means that you were in some place in the past and then you came back. You have the memories and you have the experience. Gone means you went there and you are still there. So if I say she has gone to Australia, that means she went there and she still hasn't come back. In this case, because we're talking about never, so she has never been there is right. The next question: he made many mistakes in his test. He did many mistakes in his test. He has done many mistakes in his test. He made many mistakes in his test. Why? To make mistakes is a collocation. We always say to make mistakes. To do mistakes is not correct. The next one. Which one is correct? A. Your progress in English depends on different factors. B. Depends of different factors. C. Depends by different factors. The answer is A. Your progress in English depends on different factors. After the verb depend, we always use on. Depend on. The next question. If I see Mary tomorrow, I will tell her about it. If I will see Mary tomorrow, I tell her about it. If I saw Mary tomorrow, I would told her about it. This is a conditional sentence. Here we have the first conditional. The first clause is present and the second clause is future with the verb will. If I see Mary tomorrow, I will tell her about it. That's correct. The next question. Which one is correct? If I was you, I would learn English better. If I were you, I learned English better. If I were you, I would learn English better. Again, this is a conditional sentence. We use the second conditional when we're talking about an imaginary situation. If I were you, this is an unreal situation. In second conditional sentences, the first clause is the past simple and the second clause is would plus a verb infinitive. If I were you, I would learn English better. This is the correct answer. The next question. A. They called off the trip because Mike was sick. B. They called off the trip. Or C. They called for the trip. So these are sentences with phrasal verbs. To call off means to cancel. So they called off the trip. The answer B is right. The next question. A. When he was a child, he used to play chess. B. He got used to playing chess. And C. He was used to playing chess. We use the structure used to when we want to talk about something we did in the past, but we don't do that anymore. I used to drink coffee. I don't drink coffee anymore. There is another structure. be used to. Am, is, are, was, were plus used to, which is used to talk about habits. For example, I'm used to jogging in the morning, which means this is my habit. In this case, we use the verb with ing. I'm used to jogging in the morning. Finally, the structure get used to also means to make something a habit. And again, the structure is get used to plus a verb plus ing. When he was a child, he used to play chess. He did that in the past, but he doesn't do that anymore. The next question. A. I was angry because I had waited for him all day. B. I was waiting for him all day. C. I had been waiting for him all day. Had been waiting for him all day. The first part of the sentence is the past simple. I was angry. When we're talking about something that happened before another action in the past, we use past perfect continuous. If that action was continuous, subject plus had plus been plus a verb plus ing. This is the end of the intermediate section. Now let me know how many correct answers do you have. If you have 8 or more than 8 correct answers, then your level is more than intermediate. So that's amazing. Keep going with the rest of the video and find out your level of English. Now it's time to move on to the advanced section. In this part, I'm gonna give you 10 challenging questions, so get ready. Let's start with the first question. Fill in the missing word. I get in through the window. A. Managed to. B. Could to. Or C. Was able to. The answer is A. I managed to get in through the window. Manage to is a verb that means to do something successfully, to deal with something difficult. The next question. Your papers are on the floor. Why don't you A. Pick up them, B. Pick them up, C. Pick them. The right answer is pick them up. Them is a pronoun and up is a particle. When the direct object is a pronoun, it's usually placed between the verb and the particle. Pick them up. The next one. We were really with the weather. A. Disappoint. B. Disappointed. C. Disappointing. The correct answer is disappointed. But what is the difference between disappointed and disappointing? Disappointing is an adjective which means something that disappoints, something that makes you feel bad or unhappy. For example, the movie was disappointing. And disappointed is a state of mind when you feel unhappy because your hopes about something were not satisfied. I was disappointed to see my exam results. The next one. Which answer is correct? Do you think we will finish our project in time? I don't suppose not. I suppose not. I don't so suppose. I suppose not. B is the right answer. We can't use double negatives. We can't say I don't suppose not or I not suppose. The next question. Which sentence correctly reports the question? Where have you been? A. He asked me where I have been. B. He asked me where I was. C. He asked me where I had been. Here we have the topic, reported speech. When we change from direct to indirect speech, you need to change the grammar. We have a question in the present perfect tense, so we need to change it to the past perfect. He asked me where I had been. The next question. Which sentence is correct? A. The painting sold for $3,000. B. The painting was sold for $3,000. C. The painting was being sold for $3,000. The painting was sold for $3,000 is correct. The passive voice is used when we want to emphasize the action and the subject is not important. Was being sold is a passive continuous form, but we don't have any marker words here, so the answer is B. Was sold. The next question. He's had his car. A. When he passed his driving test. B. Since he passed his driving test. C. As he passed his driving test. He's had his car since he passed his driving test. Since is an adverb of time. Here we have the situation where he had his car from a particular time in the past until now. That's why the answer is B. The next one. The directions my friend gave us were... So we were able to find his house easily. A. Straightforward. B. Coordinated. C. Essential. Straightforward is the correct answer because in this case this means easy to understand and simple. The next question. One of Mike's is his writing skill. He writes very clearly and professionally. A. Drawbacks. B. Assets. C. Acquaintances. An asset means a useful or valuable quality or skill, so the correct answer is B. Assets. And the last question for the advanced level. I heard a outside, so I went to the window. I saw 4 men in the street arguing. A. Burial. B. Coincidence. C. Commotion. A commotion is a sudden, short period of noise, confusion, or excited movement, so the correct answer is C. Well done! I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Don't forget to let me know your level and how many correct answers you had in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Bye!